Please, gentlemen, please.
No, it's okay.
Let's go. Gentlemen, let's go.
Come on, guys.
Fuck this guy. Fuck this motherfucker. Hey. Too hard. I will smash your face. Go. Come on, go.
We'll see.
Please.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
Change what you initially thought about fighting at welterweight. You just proved that you can win a welterweight fight, but you got to take a lot of shots because these guys won't go away. So does it change your opinion about fighting at welterweight?
He has a rock chin. He has a rock chin, that boy has, and he's a big boy. He's not. People can say he's a lightweight, and he was a lightweight, but he was far from a lightweight in there. I think the fact that it was 5 months or 6 months or whatever it was before our next fight was scheduled, he grew in them few months because he was eating naturally. He was bigger than Nick, bigger than Jake, who had fought. Both of them had fought a middleweight, so he was most certainly a big boy in there, a big welterweight I was facing in there. So, look, I'll never shy away from a fight. I'll never shy away from a challenge. If it makes sense, I'll do it, no problem. But it's a completely different prospect fighting at 170. So, but never say never.
So obviously, what's
the next fight?
I think this performance show how I am ready for the title. Not only about like title fight, but I deserve for anybody in any weight classes. Like I can fight in 170, I can fight 155. Anywhere like Brazil, Canada, USA. I'm young. I think my time is coming.
You have an intensity in the cage that you don't see from a lot of other guys. What makes you different than anyone in the division?
You know what interesting? A lot of guys think I'm only like wrestling guys, but this is not about only wrestling. This is about conditioning. This is about your spirit. This is about your heart. Like everything. This is about your top control, how you use your hips, how you use your legs, your arms, your mind, everything. Every month, every training, I improve myself. I train very hard, very smart, because every day MMA change. Like go high, and that's why I'm going to, and I keep going high with MMA. And tonight I show all my performance.
But what was it? You know what I mean? We're here ready to fight. We're ready for war. So let's bring it.
But you were 30 minutes late. What happened?
Yeah, when a McGregor show is in town, the traffic builds up, so we were just a little bit caught in the Las Vegas traffic at that time, so I was just a couple of minutes late, that's all.
A lot has happened.
At least I showed up this time.
A lot has happened since April for you. How have the past few months been? How do you describe it?
It's been an educational experience, it's allowed me to look at myself a little bit more and, cut all the other that's going on, so I'm very happy with that. I got the focus just on the fight, and that's why you saw that up there. I'm here to fight. I'm not here to talk and do these stupid press conferences that they keep trying to get me to do, and all this other that really means nothing to the fight. I'm here to fight, so Saturday night I will get my wish.
You said it's been an educational experience. What have you learned about yourself?
Just that, I don't know, just that everything. You've got to stop doing. For a while. You've got to do what's right for you and not what's right for everybody else. So that was something I just said to myself. I said, you know what? The time now is for me to focus and do what I came in here to do. I came here just to fight. I didn't come in here to do all the other stuff. So I'm signed and I'm paid to fight. So that's it.
I know you and UFC President Dana White went back and forth over that very thing. How do you describe the relationship between the two of you now?
We have a good relationship. We always did. Business is business. Business relationship is different than anything else. So we have our moments in that. But other than that, we have a great relationship.
Back to this weekend's fight, Conor. Your teammate, your opponent, rather, Nate Diaz. Diaz handed you your first career UFC loss when he stepped in as a replacement on 11 days' notice in March. But at that same time, you only had 11 days to adjust for his different style. So this time, now that you've had several weeks to get ready to face him again, what have you focused on preparing for this rematch?
I've brought in heavier bodies. I've been sparring middleweights this entire camp. We're prepared for his weight. We're prepared for his durability. And that's it. They're the only, his experience, his durability, and his weight. That's it.
Change what you initially thought about fighting at welterweight. You just proved that you can win a welterweight fight, but you got to take a lot of shots because these guys won't go away. So does it change your opinion about fighting at welterweight?
He has a rock chin. He has a rock chin, that boy has, and he's a big boy. He's not. People can say he's a lightweight, and he was a lightweight, but he was far from a lightweight in there. I think the fact that it was 5 months or 6 months or whatever it was before our next fight was scheduled. He grew in them few months because he was eating naturally. He was bigger than Nick, bigger than Jake. Both of them had fought a middleweight. So he was most certainly a big boy in there, a big welterweight I was facing in there. So, look, I'll never shy away from a fight. I'll never shy away from a challenge. If it makes sense, I'll do it, no problem. But it's a completely different prospect fighting about 170. So, but never say never.
So obviously, what's
we know how much you love the verbal warfare of this. After waiting on Aldo and getting that going, Diaz and the 2 fights, do you ever feel like a fight is beneath you?
I feel there's a lot of contenders in the game, or so-called contenders, that it almost upsets me that they even link my name to them. They're not even close to the level that I am at. So, but usually, as the game goes on, fighters step up and compete more often. Hype builds, and then it builds. But right now I'm finding it hard to see post two-weight world champion. So I'm just trying to focus on actually living in the moment, winning the second world title, creating history, and then I'll see how the landscape changes. In this game, it's a crazy game. The game changes so quick, so I'll just gather them 2 belts, all the money, and put my feet up and figure out what's next.
The weight jumps, how's that impacted your preparation for this one?
Yeah, it's actually, it's a weight jump from when I'm champion at 145 pounds. It's actually a weight, I'm actually coming down from the last 2 previous fights, which I stepped about 170. So it's been good. It's kind of like middle range. My coach says it's like that Goldilocks story. One is too hot, one's too cold. This is just right. So I'm feeling good. I'm lean. I'm fast. I'm still big. I'm still powerful. So it's been good. I feel good. I'm ready to go and put on a show for the fans here in New York City. The energy is tremendous throughout the city. My hotel room is outside the hotel is insane. The fans are really embracing this whole event, and I'm going to go out and put on a show for them.
Yeah, you mentioned it. New York, it's something that UFC fans have wanted to happen for so long. It's the first UFC card there. How has it been different for you from your perspective as opposed to Vegas or other venues?
Well, it's a built-up city. Vegas is a desert. Vegas is very small. The built-up area is very small. But New York, you're just surrounded by buildings and people 24/7. So, like, if I go driving somewhere, it's essentially like you're not driving fast. You're constantly in traffic, and fans running up to the cars on every block. The fans actually run after the car. Or run after the cars as we're going from one place to the other, so they can get to the next place. So it's been crazy. The support has been amazing. Police, the cops on the street are running off the street to take pictures and jumping over each other to get pictures. Everyone, the whole city is alive right now, and I'm very honoured and grateful. And so I'm looking forward to Saturday night, where I get to put on a show for these people and show them love for the love that they are showing me.
When you were talking about the fight and talking about Alvarez, you said that when the fight's done, his wife and kids won't ever recognize him again. And I think a lot of people who, just sitting back, they're like, whoa, that's pretty harsh. Do you ever regret anything you say in these lead-ups?
No, it might be harsh, but guess what? It's a harsh business. It's a dangerous game, and if it's facts, it's facts. So, I just just revert to my old friend, the truth, and it guides me. So that's it. He will be unrecognisable after this fight, unless his chin doesn't hold up and he goes asleep on the first blink, which could very well happen. He has been dropped multiple times, but he has shown solid toughness. That's why he's a champion in multiple organisations. He's been a champion where he was. He's a champion now in the UFC. He's a tough man. So I'm imagining he will survive the first onslaught, but then he will begin to become unrecognisable in there, and then that will be it. I'm simply speaking fact.
Conor McGregor, UFC 205 with us for Silicon Valley ESPN Radio. I sat down with Dana just 2 days ago,